Bruce Golding's piece, Things Fall Apart, is making the news. Also making the news yesterday, the Jamaican Prime Minister responded, commented, and really articulated his administration's approach to what has been happening on the regional and global scene where the actions of Mr. Trump are concerned. And what the Prime Minister did yesterday was to really repeat what is well known now. He's not going to get into any argument with Mr. Trump. He's going to hold his head down and keep Jamaica's interest paramount by being very cautious, very diplomatic. So yesterday, he sought to assure Jamaicans that he will keep the country safe amid the mounting geopolitical crises affecting the Caribbean. He was speaking at the National Day of Prayer service, yesterday. And he told his audience that his primary duty as Prime Minister of Jamaica, the man in office now, in the hot seat, his primary duty is to steer Jamaica clear of issues that do not concern it. He also sought to assure the country that it will remain safe on his watch.
Every day I pray for the nation. We are living in changing times, uncertain times, uncharted waters in many instances. And my job as the steward of your affairs and the servant of your wishes is to keep Jamaica safe, not to steer into waters for which we don't have to go, not to invite problems on ourselves when we have our own problems to deal with.
That is clear, which we don't to go. We're not going into waters which we don't have to go. In other words, me walking wide of that. And I'm sure some people will be critical of that position. But it is pragmatic. It is realistic. And it is sensible. Especially in light of the realities we face, including President Trump's character. We know Trump is a very, very petty man. He's revengeful. He loves retribution. That's his instinct, to mete out revenge. Well, the Jamaican Prime Minister says his approach should not be understood as an abdication of Jamaica's leading role in the regional grouping that is CARICOM. He says Jamaica's voice remains a strong one in the region.
This is not us recoiling from our principles and duties. Jamaica has always been consistent, and we have always been the strong voice of reason for small developing countries globally, and continue to be. Many of the issues that are presently being discussed, if persons who comment on these issues would only do very cursory research into the matter, they would see the positions that Jamaica has taken and continue to take.
And what he's saying there, Jamaica has been speaking through CARICOM, especially on this issue. And we have maintained or emphasized our position that we respect certain well-known principles of international law, including sovereignty, Jamaica being part of a region that is a zone of peace, But that statement from CARICOM, yeah, very diplomatic. And the issue is walking through the raindrops, restating the principles, but steering clear of condemning Trump's behavior, as Golding did in the piece published today. Yeah? So that is the position of the Jamaican government. And as I said, it makes sense, it's pragmatic. History will judge whether it was enough, whether it was strident enough. Well, it wasn't strident at all. Yeah? History will judge us. Yeah? According to Dr. Holness yesterday, his government has a solid track record of managing multiple geopolitical shocks, and it will continue on that path.
So what is happening, Jamaica has already taken its position long before others would have sought to enunciate any correct position. So we give God thanks for keeping Jamaica safe in turbulent geopolitical and geoeconomic times. We have navigated those waters very carefully, very skillfully, and we will bring the ship of the Jamaican state to the destination of prosperity for which God has ordained.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness speaking yesterday at the National Day of Prayer event. Yes? He also went to the issue of crime, where he spoke with, or he spoke to, gunmen. And he gave them one simple message: save yourselves. Yeah? Save yourselves. Listen to what he said.
I've also, from this platform, appealed to the gunmen and the criminals to spare the lives of the innocent people, the victims. And I've oftentimes said that sometimes the conversation and the narrative focuses more on the criminals rather than on the victims. Today, I appeal to the criminals and the gunmen and those who are involved in criminal activities and those who have guns to save yourselves. Turn away from violence. Put away the gun. In fact, turn it in.
The Prime Minister went on to bemoan the number of young men who make up the number of perpetrators and victims of violent crimes.
And I ask the church to pray for them so that their hearts will be touched, so they will turn away from criminal activity. Pray for them. It must be said that every life in Jamaica is valuable. Every life is valuable. And it pains my heart to see our young men, because 95% of those who are doing the killings and those who are killed are young men. Pains my heart to see our young men being killed. So I pray for them to stop killing, and I pray for them to save themselves. That's just the reality.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness. Well, today is what? The 8th of the new year, the new month? The 8th of January. Yeah? And so far, up to yesterday, there were 7 murders committed in the country. Yeah? 7 up to yesterday. And that's against, for the same period last year, 15 being committed. 15 up to the 7th of January 2025. Yeah? There were 15 murders. Same period, January 2026, 7. Yeah? And we're going to track these numbers for you. We're going to track them. Yeah? But that is the numbers up to yesterday. The police are also reporting this morning that 4 of the 6 men they named, identified, and urged to turn themselves in because they were wanted or were persons of interest in the parish of St. Elizabeth. 4 of the 6 have now turned themselves in. All right? The 4 who have turned themselves in are Shane Brown, who was wanted for murder, Michael McNeish, Janoy Linton, and Shawnee Wint. The 2 still wanted and are being urged to turn themselves in. Yeah. The 2 still being sought are Andre Blackwood, who is wanted for assault at common law and possession of a prohibited weapon, and a man known only as Findo, F-I-N-D-O, how you pronounce that, Findo or Findo, of Rice Peace District in St. Elizabeth. They are the ones who are still wanted. Findo is being sought for questioning in relation to the murder of Dario Smith in Lacovia, and the police are urging them to turn themselves in immediately and avoid what you heard there from your Prime Minister, that listen, yeah, save yourselves. And the issue of police fatal shootings, a sound system selector is the latest person shot dead by the security forces since the start of the year. He has been identified as a 44-year-old Leighton Nemhard, otherwise called Bigodan. Leighton Nemhard, Bigodan. He was shot dead during an alleged standoff with the police in St. Elizabeth on Tuesday. That incident occurred in the Hodges Land community near Black River. Hodges Land is not near Black River. Yeah? Hodges Land is up in the northern part of the parish. Black River is in the southern part of the parish. And we know Hodges Land because a certain nationwide employee is from Hodges Land. Yeah? And he talks to us about Hodges Land, deep rural St. Elizabeth, not near Black River at all. Good morning, Mr. Rowe, Kimali Rowe. Good morning. How is Hodges Land? Yeah? Time for the break.
My hands were steady. My eyes